Well, the greater Kansas City community is preparing to lay two deputies to rest. Deputy Teresa King and Patrick Rohrer were shot and killed while transporting an inmate last Friday. I'm here with David Alvey, who is mayor of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, KCK. Thanks so much for coming here. There has been a tremendous outpouring from the community in this area for these two deputies.
Yes.
This is a tender, emotional moment. What's happening?
Yeah, very much so. You know, we've had the experience of 2 years ago losing two of our police officers, and of course at that time it really pulled together the community, and now we return to the same kind of circumstances, and it just cuts that much deeper, I think. But I also think it calls out even more so the tenderness that you spoke of, the support, the compassion, the care that the people of Wyandotte County have for one another, and especially I think for their law enforcement personnel. So it's another special moment. It's not one that we would seek, but I'm very proud and honored to be the mayor of a community that would show such great support for one another.
What have you seen? I know there's the memorial where people are bringing items, you know, balloons and flowers and candles and teddy bears and things like that. What have you seen? What have you heard? What are people saying?
So I think so much of this conversation now is actually happening on social media and Facebook, and it's interesting to me just the discussions that people are having on Facebook. It's very much centered on the two deputies and on their fellow law enforcement personnel, but also on the families. And so the care that I'm hearing and I see in the hallways that you can see outdoors between City Hall and the county courthouse across the street is really moving for us.
So both of these deputies had children.
Yes.
I know Patrick Rohrer had 2 young children and Deputy King had 3.
Yes.
And so the children, you know, that are left behind because of this tragic shooting there last Friday, that's one of the moments and that's one of the areas where people are really sensitive. How are people dealing with that? What do you as mayor, how do you try to help them heal? And, you know,
I think all you can really do is offer kind words of support, cry with them, give them the hugs that they need. And we know that's not enough. There has to be continuing efforts to support them. I would say that both families have very strong extended families that have reached out to care for one another, and you know, that itself is moving and inspiring.
You mentioned the previous police officers, 2 police officers killed in 2016, Brad Lancaster and Robert Melton, and then now these 2 sheriff's deputies. That's a big hit. That's a punch in the gut to law enforcement in your community. How is that being handled?
I'm again inspired and encouraged by the way our law enforcement personnel understand and are very aware of the risks they are placing themselves in, and they continue to do that. You know, the people who responded to the scene at the Sally Port where the shootings occurred, you could feel the courthouse, those gathered there, reaching out to them, trying to get into the cage to assist them. When the fire department showed up, when the police and the sheriff's deputies and others showed up, they set aside their own feelings to be able to handle that situation and to do what they were sworn to do. And I think they're continuing to do that. And again, I'm just so encouraged and inspired by our law enforcement personnel and truly by all those who work at the courthouse and at City Hall and our community beyond.
It is inspiring to see. Mayor, I know you have a heavy heart and yet you came here today to talk, to communicate. What do you want to say to the people of Wyandotte County, KCK, as we step in tomorrow, you know, to a double funeral?
Yes, I just call everyone, if you can come, please come. Show your support, show your encouragement, offer your prayers, offer your condolences. They may seem small and insignificant, but in fact they make a difference for all the families, for all of us who grieve.
All right, great advice. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Our condolences to you and of course to the families and other law enforcement officers affected by this. We'll be right back.